Welcome, everybody, to another Lone Wolf Show. I'm the Lone Wolf, and you're watching www.witchcrafttv.online. And I got a musician in the background, and we got a lot of things in common, right? And this is one of those stories where it becomes very inspirational. And that when you start reaching your highest ideals, and remember, we are a fair representation of all pagan, witch, and magic paths. And one of the things that I've noticed with this particular guest is that he definitely walks a magic path. And there's a little bit of footage and pictures and a little bit of explanations, but we're going to get to know him right now. And I want to let you know about his name, too. He's also a Carter, and I'm thinking that, but he got D'Angelo Bailey up on there, but it does say like you a Carter though, ain't you a Carter?
Yeah, I'm definitely a Carter, man. You know me. What's up? What's going on, man? Shout out to the whole family. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what it is. Yeah, you know my last name is Carter, but you know D'Angelo Bailey. That's my that's my alias for my music. You know what I'm saying? That's why I go by. That's what everybody know me by. So today, I'm giving you D'Angelo Bailey.
So what I wanted to talk about is that, like, as far as like everybody in the witchcraft, everybody in the pagan community, everybody in the magical community knows that myself, and this ain't about me, it's about you. But everybody knows that I've walked a path where, you know, I suffered in recidivism. I suffered through that back and forth, you know, incarceration type joint. And
right.
I've been out 4 years. So when I see somebody else in the community, you know what I'm saying, that's walking a path similar to mine, I got to lift them up. I got to know about them. Tell me about yourself. And right off the rip, did you use witchcraft or magic to ultimately become free? Like, how did this work out?
I like how you worded that. I'm gonna keep it real with you. It changed my life. There was a lot, you know, I was struggling with drug addiction. I was struggling with depression. I was suicidal. You know, I had very low confidence, and you know that had a lot to do with you know, people messing with my energy and me not really being fully aware of how that played a factor in my life. So, you know, I don't know if that answers your question in its entirety, but that's kind of how I became quote unquote free, even though I was incarcerated. That's when I became or started the process of freeing myself.
Right. I can remember like back in the day, I was in the Florida Department of Corrections, and I was down there to this joint called Appalachia Correctional. And I was walking the yard, and somebody come up to me and says, "Hey, man, you know, if you into that witchcraft and that magic stuff, how come you not free? Like, why are you still in jail?" And I was just, right. And at the time, I was kind of like, well, you know, first of all, I got to deal with my karma. You know, I got to pay my debts and all that. But at the end, at the end of the day, and at the end of the game, witchcraft really is what made me become free. Like I did escape, you know what I'm saying? Because we have this recidivism with going back and forth. And that's what I really like to target and talk about, man, is that when people go in and out of like the belly of the beast, it's an ongoing cycle. People don't make it out here. The statistics are against you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So like, and they say like the first year, like I think it's like 85% go back to jail within like the first year or some joke or stuff like that. And anytime I can empower that where that doesn't happen, and anytime I can like tap into somebody that's using the craft or magic or, you know, whatever spirituality you're into. What kind of books did you read when you was educating yourself, like in the belly of the beast? Because I know that, you know, that's what we do when we're locked up, we do nothing but expand our minds and we try to be better than we were. And I really like, right. I really like when people start reaching their highest ideals. You know what I'm saying? And it seems like however way that you walked your path, it's helping you now. What kind of stuff were you reading? Who was mentoring you? What were you into when you were incarcerated?
You know what? For me, it was interesting because I really started down this path probably in, what was it, 2000 and what was that, 17, probably like 2017. And the first book I read, believe it or not, was the Satanic Bible. And
Okay.
then from the yes, sir. And then from the Satanic Bible, I dove into the Book of Spells. I don't remember exactly what the author was. And then I also had studied Scientology. So for me, I felt like knowledge is power. I kind of wanted to know a little bit of everything. I studied some theosophy. I also studied the initiates of the flame. So I just kind of wanted to be well-rounded, because for me, it was important that I utilized or found what would work for me. So I kind of refer to it as like a spiritual gumbo. I took a little bit of everything, and if it applied, I applied it. If it was something that I felt didn't fit, then I just respected it and moved on. That's kind of what got me started. And then let's see, the last book that I read was the Enchantment Encumbered, which is a Wiccan book, because I liked a lot of the earthly qualities that they possess. I think that's very important, So I just kind of took a little bit of everything, man, and I just called it my spiritual gumbo.
Spiritual gumbo, I like that. So where are you at in the United States right now? Where are you at in the
I'm
States
currently
right
in Phoenix, Arizona.
You're in Arizona? That's what's up.
Yeah.
Did you do time out there in Arizona?
Yeah, I did time in Yuma State Complex. You know what I'm saying? I was on I was locked up in Cibola. I was locked up at La Paz. I did time at Cheyenne. So shout out to all my brothers out there, man, that's still locked up, still incarcerated. But yeah, that's where I did my time. They gave me 4.5 years. I did 85% of my time. And my charges that got me sent to prison was robbery.
Right. And I think Arizona's that one of those states where like they have like compounds where they put you in the desert and put you in like all pink and stuff.
Well, we don't know. You talking about Sheriff Joe Pyle. No, we don't wear pink anymore, but you're definitely going to be in the desert. And if anybody knows anything about Arizona, it's a spiritual place in itself.
Yes.
That had a lot to do with how I guess sped up my process, so to speak, because there was a lot of tests that I had to endure, a lot of things that I had to go through, which made me seek a lot of knowledge a lot faster, because there was a lot of magical things taking place, and I was able to tap into that, and that's how I was able to kind of, I guess, speed up the process, so to speak. It just made it easier for me to acknowledge that there was more to life than what I was originally taught.
Mm-hmm. So right off rip, this is what made me notice you out here in the world, on social media and all this stuff. You posted some pictures about this is how I used to do it when I was incarcerated, and I'm gonna throw up these pictures right now. And these are just some of the things that you were doing in there, utilizing what you had available as tools to extend your mind, basically, because we know that like the greatest magic tool is the mind. I mean, we get that, but it's really fascinating to see what was available to you. So, I mean, you got stones. You're in Arizona, so you got access to all these stones. You're using playing cards, and tarot cards. Tarot cards come to play. Like before there was playing cards, there was tarot cards. Like that's the whole thing. So like it's really cool. I'm going to show a couple more of these pictures real quick. And we had these things now. Now we got nothing but time in there, so it's like you grabbed all these things, just to get right and to focus. And I really appreciate that. I really appreciate that.
I appreciate it.
And we got to know. There's another video clip. I'm going to play the video clip that you had sent. It's playing in the background, but We've taken out space. So I'm gonna play the little clip, and then I'm gonna ask you what is really going on here with what was you doing? Because when we're talking about like the craft and witchcraft, like I interview like some of the biggest names in the world, and I'm also a seeker too. And I'm not nobody special. I'm just like you, bro. I came from the belly of the beast, except I got out 4 years ago. I embraced my earth-based spirituality, my form of spirituality, and it has kept me free from that belly of the beast, from those chains. Like I did like 15 years in and out at different state prisons around the country. So like I was saying early in the interview, like when I see somebody else that's utilizing spirituality, and particularly magic, because, Witchcraft TV is all about representation of all paths of magic, of witchcraft, in different, it doesn't matter. So I'm going to try to find that video. Where's that video at? Here we go. Let's see if we can't play it. Why ain't it playing? It ain't playing for me. We froze up. Let me see. I'm trying to bring this video on here. I don't know why it's not showing for me. There it is. Let me see. All right, so we're gonna come back. What was going on? Like what were you doing? Like, tell me about that.
Okay, so the way that I utilize magic is a little bit different, I guess, in the traditional sense. Like I said, I just kind of took what felt right to me. I'm very big on like what feels right to me,
Right.
I've always been that way. I've always been a little different. So the best way I can explain it to you is when I was growing up in school, everybody had Jordans. So because everybody had Jordans on, I had to wear a pair of Adidas because I like to be my own person. So I was basically at that point trying to get the attention of the entity that I utilize in my spell work, which is Frymos, from the lesser keys, which is part of ceremonial magic. And so that's just kind of a way to see, if he's aligning or, if he's tapping in with me, so to speak. If you continue the video, you'll see that some things got to moving around there. And so, it's just one of those things that I utilize to make sure that, I'm on the right path.
And you're also a lyricist. You're a rapper. Like, you do music. I've seen a couple of your joints out there with some of your partners, and the shit is kind of dope. And I know that I asked you off camera, like, are you gonna make any songs that have to do with magic? Are you gonna have any songs that are pagan oriented? Or like, because I seen your post where you're talking about, and this is what I used to do. This is my spirituality. This is how I coped. Are you gonna come out here and use that same art within your music? Is I guess what I'm asking.
Okay, so to answer your question, quite honestly, all of my music is based off of the craft. And what I mean by that is I believe that your voice is the magical keys to unlock anything in the universe. And so therefore for me, I always center myself around making sure that my lyricist capabilities is manifested in a way that reflects the craft. I'm kind of like, the best way I can explain it to you, I don't really know any other artists that I'm similar to other than Kendrick Lamar, where a lot of it is you would have to really listen to it a couple more times. And the fact that I've only been out a little bit over 40 days, so I need some visuals to kind of help paint the picture, but a lot of my music is rooted in the craft. And so that's the beauty of it. I just don't really. I try not to focus too much on the darker aspects of it. I respect it, and I feel like it's necessary as well. But for me, the creativity is definitely, something that I root in my craft, because once again, my songs are tailored to, how I want to move in the universe, how I want to what's the word I'm looking for? Manifest things in my life. And some of these songs are literally protection spells. Some of these songs, I'm actually summoning entities to work with. So I'm definitely utilizing the craft. It's just I have a crafty way of going about, saying it.
Right. And I definitely agree with that, because creation is like the biggest magic of them all. Anybody that's creating things is having magic. So creation is like the best magic. Music is the best magic.
Yes,
I feel like inspiration definitely is the best magic. Now, I didn't know how long you've been out, of the penal institutions. I didn't really know that. 40 days. I mean,
okay, well, let's see. So today I got out January 7th, 2025. Okay. And what's today? The 23rd, I believe.
Yeah, February 23rd.
So, I'm not a mathematician, but do the math. So like I'm on fire, man. I got out. I got out. You know what I mean? I just been in the studio recording.
Yeah.
And now I'm here and we're linking up, and obviously, other people are going to tap into this as well. And so, I'm just doing me, man. I'm just doing me. I'm being transparent. I do. Okay. It's like this. I'm gonna be honest. Like, a lot of people, they tell me like, oh man, I don't know why you getting involved with witchcraft, man. I don't know what I'm like, I'm gonna pray for you. Like, I don't know what got into you, and do what that comes with, and this, that, and the third. And like I keep trying to explain to people, like, hey, this is what saved my life. This is what helped me to become what they call in this day and age woke.
Right.
Because regardless of the craft, what people have to realize is we're all like X-Men. We all have spiritual powers. It's up to you what you decide to do with your powers, and so I utilize mine to the likings of my lifestyle, but I also realize and I believe that you can't affect free will. So I'm not big on manipulating people. That's not really what I'm here for. I'm just trying to reach those that need to be reached, and this is the channel and the portal that I'm using.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I just feel like 40 days is like basically a month and a half. Like a month and a half is like, man, I just feel like, yo, if anything comes up, like you need anybody to talk to, like you need like support in any kind of magical way from anybody in like the pagan community, the witchcraft community, esoteric community. I'm talking like
right.
The ceremonial magic community, anybody at all. And, to get rid of that recidivism shit, because I just want to tell you, like, I just feel like you high risk. Like I want you on the team, because when we start embracing this spirituality like that, when people meet us, they say, oh, you're such and such. Well, you endure these kind of things, and it's not really into like what everybody else does. Like, I already know that you're not sheeple. Like I already know that. I just feel like if there's anything that I can do, like for you, like support system wise, like I want to help. And yeah, I didn't know that you were fresh out like that. So what's going on with you right now? I do see you're in the recording studio. I see you having a lot of fun. The music sounds really good. The music sounds dope, right? I just really feel like, because I know in our community, like there's enough that in the witchcraft community, there's like pagan rappers, and there's all kinds of like ill rappers all around the spectrum. But in the fold itself, we had a Carillion rapper by the name of Cloud, the pagan rapper, right? And nobody else is really doing like witchcraft, like magical, like hip hop like that. And me and Buddy were doing that, and we decided that we wanted to try to make it positive, because when we infuse music with like spirituality, and spirituality is what ultimately like is moving us, we just wanted to keep it positive. That way we weren't being like muddy or like just like rude or coy, you know, particularly with me, because I'm from the chain gang. Like I did mad times. Like I got tattooed tears, all that. Like I was tired of it.
Right. You did that. Yeah, you did that.
I'm still tired of it. But you know, occultic law suggests like attracts like. That's why I was like, you know, dude is posting how he used to, you know, do certain things like in the chain gang and all this. And I think what's going to be important is like what's going on now. Like you have access to a lot more than just what you find out in the yard with everything. Like you have access to so much more, like information and avenues. And at the end of the day, I really want to see you reach your highest ideals, man. And
right, no doubt.
Because if you can reach your highest ideals, you know, and not go back to that recidivism and all that. Because I know, first of all, you're dope. Your music's dope. You got talent. I like that. I like, you know, what you stand for and everything. I just don't want to see you go back into that fold. I just want you to come to the fold. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I just want to empower other folks of a like mind. I think that's what it boils down to, is just like attracts like. What have been your biggest hurdles? Like when you got out, I know some folks like from like your past, like when you doing what you doing, Skippy Woo is like, yo, you out, everything's cool. And I know damn right that they ain't writing, you know, letters or keep it real in your books and nothing like that. But they're like, yo, what's up with it? What's been your biggest hurdles and how can I say hardship since you've been out now?
You know what, man? That's a great question, bro. I love your energy too. You got good energy, man. You know what I'm saying? First off, shout out to my Hustle God family. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to all my chosen ones. Y'all know what time it is, man. I'm trying to lead the way for us. So honestly, bro, to answer your question, everything is good. Everything is great. You know what I mean? Because I see when I was down, man, I was manifesting certain things, and so. You know, it's just lining up the way that it's supposed to line up, to be completely honest with you. You know, as far as like people from my past, you know, I mean, people from the past, all they really have is what they remember from the past. So, you know, I can't really blame them for where they might be. I know they might be a little bit shocked, you know, because like when you see somebody and at the time, like I said, I was deep into my drug addiction. You know what I'm saying? I was lost. You know what I mean? I wasn't winning the battle. I was losing the battle spiritually, you know, because I wasn't aware of what was really going on in my life. And so, you know, once I got out of prison, I just kind of put that behind me, man. It's a couple people I reached out to, but I'm so present in the now that I really don't focus on the past, and I don't focus on the future. I don't know how else I can explain that to you, bro. I'm just in this conversation with you now, and I'm just moving forward. You know, the only way that I could see myself going back to prison, you know, is if like something from my past reared up, which I'll just have to handle that. But man, I'm just in a different headspace now, bro. And I realize my purpose, and I'm stepping into my purpose, and I understand that. With stepping into my purpose comes responsibility. You know, comes a spiritual awareness and self-control. And so, you know, I'm a lot older. You know, I'm 39 years old. You know, I might look a little younger, but I'm 39 years old. So I got a little bit of wisdom under me. You know, so you know, I'm just enjoying it, man. We just, you know what I mean? Like we vibing, man. It's just a whole vibe. You know, I've been blessed with the ability to see certain things that most people aren't able to see. I've been blessed with the ability to speak freely. I don't have a filter, which makes me dangerous. But you know, like I said, the fact that I have a little bit of wisdom under me, I'm a little bit more shrewd with my words. But you know, I definitely know how to use the tongue as a sword when need be. So like I'm doing great, bro. Like, you know what I mean? I see the progress that I'm making, and I know that that's because I put in the work, and in response to, you know, me putting in that work, the universe is blessing me and making sure that I can find, you know, my people and actually find my tribe, so to speak.
Mm-hmm. That's what's good. So tell me, so where can we find your music right now? Are you on Spotify? Are you on Pandora, iTunes? Are you not there yet? I seen some of your stuff on like social media.
Yeah, these is all teasers, bro. You know, this is all teasers, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm just pretty much just kind of like strategic. I'm very strategic when it comes to my music and the placement of my music, you know. So right now I'm not on any other major streaming platforms. But I will be, you know what I mean? Right now it's just about putting that energy out into the universe. I'm in a couple, I'm right now I'm in this I'm on Too Hot Radio. And you know, I did a remake to Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us, and so I guess it's going through the approval stage. So you know, that's kind of where you guys can help me out at. You know what I'm saying? I don't really know. You know, it's still they just sent me an email earlier today. I really don't know the scheme of things as far as how it works, but I'm under the impression that you got to get so many votes, so you need people to buy so many tickets, this, that, and the third. So I'm not really sure, you know what I mean? It kind of just popped up. And so, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at, man. I'm just trying to build. What I want to do, man, is I like to work from the back end, and then everything else kind of falls into place. So I'm just trying to build the fan base and the following. And then from there, you know, it's pretty much a wrap. I'm not looking to sign with a major label. You know what I'm saying? I'm just looking to get a good distribution deal and just put good music out to the universe. That's about it.
Mm-hmm. What I've noticed in like contemporary times is that the record label is dead. You don't need a record label no more. Like you can self promote. We got stuff like CD Baby, we got DistroKid, and these little avenues are very small pay-in that put up all your music and they put you out to all the major streams. And you're right, it's the promotional aspects. But I think as you continue your journey out here, and I really want you to stay spiritual with it, man. Like all this stuff that you were talking about. Like I just hope that you stay on that path, because I feel like it's a powerful path, it's a potent path, and it's a misrepresentative path. You know, man, I just hope you do.
It really is. You're 100% correct about that.
Yeah, I'm out here rooting for you, man. I really am, and I hope that you do great things. And
thank you, Bob. Appreciate that. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
No, you're good. And when you do, if you end up making a particular like song that is more like spiritual in nature, and you got a music video, man, let me know, man. I want to put it on Pagan Music TV, and I want to help you out, boost your career and all that stuff. I really do. Arizona is really not that far either. And you're right, it is like a real spiritual place. There's a lot of cool stuff that happens out in Arizona. Definitely a lot of good minerals.
Very much so. Yes. Yes.
Definitely a lot of good stuff like that. So when you study and your own spirituality, who do you look up to in the spiritual communities? Like, who's an author that really stuck out to you that you kind of resonated with, like as far as books or mentors?
You know what? My mentors came in they came in different forms, to be honest with you. A couple people that I was in prison with, you know, who followed the left-hand path. We had a lot of different discussions about certain things, you know, and they were able to enlighten me, and I was able to enlighten them. As far as like books and authors, I don't really, this might sound a little fucked up, but like I don't really get into all of that, bro. Like I'm very unique in that sense. Like I just don't, like, for instance, I don't listen to a lot of mainstream music. I just kind of take what I needed to take from the time, and then everything else came from the spirit world, man. That's the best way I can explain it to you. As far as my spiritual practice, the way that I practice now, it's still similar. It's a lot of they call it journaling. I call it automatic writing. You know, it's tomato. And so, but the thing with me is I'm very particular in the spacing where I do my magic. You understand what I'm saying? And if I feel like I can't really cleanse the space properly, then I have to kind of wait until I can, you know, find a clean space, so to speak, spiritually speaking. So right now I'm in this program called New Freedom. And it's pretty much like a treatment center. It's a 90-day program. You know, they help you with jobs, you know, and things of that nature. And so it's pretty nice. You know, it's like I'll say it was originally like a 3-star hotel. And so, you know, I'm in this program, and so therefore it's a lot of different energies that I'm around. So I haven't been able to really fully dive in, but the point that I'm making is I put so much energy out into the universe, you know, when I was in prison and while I was incarcerated, that now I know that it's go time. It's really time for me to step into that role. And I put things in place because I knew, you know, what was to come, so to speak. And so I'm just working in union, you know, with what I put out into the universe. You know, if the best way I can explain it, you know, the Christians say, you know, walk in faith, you know what I'm saying? And so like, I'm walking in my faith, and the things that I put out into the universe. But to answer your question, you know, I'm my biggest author, you know, I write this story, so to speak, you know, and even though I share the world with different people and different spirits as well, you know, I try to make sure I'm in control of my world, you know, how I perceive things, my perception, because that ultimately plays a major part in, you know, how I'm able to manifest things. You know, it's all about manifestation for me. And so this is it may look different, you know, it may look different because I know a lot of people that, you know, that was in that particular that pagan group that I was in. They were so fascinated with how I was able to come up with the, you know, get the stones, and, you know, how I had an artist, you know, draw the above and below, and, you know, things of that nature. They kind of were like, we've never seen this, you know, how did you know to do this? Like, who told, like, where did you get these instructions? Like, what book did you read? Like, how did it? And what I try to get people to understand is, like, you know, no disrespect to anyone's belief, but like, I couldn't read as a kid. And the irony in that is because I couldn't read, I had to really learn how to feel. So I really had to learn how to, you know, I mean, I know how to read now, obviously, but, you know, I had to learn how to rely on my senses, because we have a lot of senses that we can utilize that are tools for reading. And so, you know, I try to learn how to read my environment, how to read the atmosphere, how to read that gut feeling you get. You know what I mean? We're always looking for signs, but like the signs are always right in front of us, and we never read them, you know? And so for me, I'm just really in tune, man. I'm really in tune with just the universe and the energy and the people around me. You know, that's what I really focus on more than anything. It's kind of unique because it may not look like I'm doing much, but I'm always ciphering energy. I'm just constantly just ciphering energy and pushing it back out to the universe to make it work for not only myself but everybody around me.
Right. All right, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back. We're going to talk more about prison reentry. We're going to talk about magic and how we reaching our highest ideals and escaping the chains from the belly of the beast with witchcraft.
Merry meet and welcome to Festival Fun on Witchcraft TV, where we talk about paganism, witchcraft, spiritual festivals, conventions, and other gatherings. These events are a wonderful way to learn about magical practices, to participate in rituals, and meet like-minded people. It's a whole lot of fun. with your host, A.C. Fisher and Harold Sanford Carter III. Welcome to Festival Fun.
So y'all know about
Yeah, so we're back right here with D'Angelo Bailey, and we're talking about the reintegration of, from the belly of the beast, from being in prison, from being incarcerated to shedding skins. Like this is the year. This is the year of the wood snake. We are shedding skins and like becoming our better selves. And I think that's the most important thing, when it comes, when I signed up for Witchcraft TV, I signed up for fair representation of all pagan, witch, and magic paths. And you, my friend, walk a magical path. So
thank you.
You included in that equation, and you touch in a main vein because, like you, I was an incarcerated man who wanted to walk a better life with earth-based spirituality, and it's ultimately what kept me free. So I'm very inspired by that. What advice do you have, to I really wish we could get them all together like in the chain game and be like, yo, gather up, like who want to listen, right? Because everybody kicks knowledge. Everybody kicks knowledge when they're in the penitentiary. But when people get out of the penitentiary, they come clouded. Nobody's kicking knowledge no more. They just fall back into them same ruts, the same thing that they were doing before. And I know that when I got out of the penitentiary, people were like, you're still the same person. You ain't changed. You always have the same spots. Like, that's not true because I've been out 4 years. I ain't never been out 4 years in my life since I was 13 years old. And it's this earth-based spirituality that has set me free. It is the element of reaching my highest ideals or just focusing on that particular mantra of like being the best me I can possibly be. And it just seems like there's a lot of inspiration with you. Like, and the way that you're coming across is very modern and it's dope. It's great music. And I want to see more music from you. I want to see it. I want to see it positive too. Like, it's just like, I just want to see it positive. And I want you to stay in touch, and I want to see you grow, man. I want to have an interview with you in a year, talking about how you're winning awards and all this joke. Like, I really like that.
Yeah, right. That part. Yeah, that's what all the homies keep telling me, man. They like, bro, like you next, like you got it, And so with that being the case, I realized that, let's be honest, man. Let's get real. Let's talk about it. I'm an African American man in a world where, they're used to us representing ourselves in certain ways. And so I'm entering the hip hop scene at a time where, it's looking real bad for us right now. Right. And so that's the perfect timing because that's my job. My job is to come in when everybody then left, when nobody wants to show their face because they decided that, they wanted to get involved in certain things that they shouldn't have got involved in. That's neither here nor there. It's just about being in the now and being in the present and realizing that now is the time to strike. I also thought about when I watched the BET 50 Years of Hip Hop, I wasn't impressed. I was actually hurt. I felt some type of way because I was like, okay, now I see that you guys you're not honoring the craft. You're not respecting the craft. Anybody and everybody who had anything to do with hip hop should have been there. They should have had to find another building to try to fit all the MCs and everyone that was all the producers and everybody in between, all the B-boys, all the B-girls, you know what I'm saying? The graffiti artists, you know what I'm saying? I didn't see, I seen a little bit of the four elements, but the point I'm making is, hip hop has basically been tampered with, and so I take that seriously. I take it very personal, probably more personal than anybody on this planet. And so, that's my job is to find a way to get people to listen And sometimes in order to get people to listen, you have to kind of find a way to where it seems as if it's diluted and shaped in some sense of perversion. And then all of a sudden, you drop some knowledge on them and they're like, wait, I thought we were going in this direction. Now he's going in this direction. And so it's tricky the way that I went about it. You notice whenever you ask me about my music and like, where do we find it? I was very, I didn't give any details on that because it's just not time. But the time is approaching and it's approaching very soon. But the whole thing is just making sure that everything is in place. I had to put certain principalities in place because, music comes from the heavens, man. And so, a lot of people don't understand like the power of music. It's very powerful. So therefore, you have to have a sense of what's the word I'm looking for? You got to have a sense of awareness when you're putting certain frequencies out into the universe, because once again, this becomes your reality, right? As far as advice that I would give for those who are coming in out of prison and trying to combat the recidivism, I would say, first of all, it has to be something that you want to do. That's what I realized. A lot of the homies, man, they still want to go out there and trap. They still want to sell dope. There's really nothing you can do for them. I know it sounds there, but it's just the truth of the matter is that you have to be in a certain headspace yourself to want to do better. You know what I'm saying? And so we fall into that category. What I like about you is, I seen a lot of your videos and I was like, oh, okay, he took it somewhere else. You took the craft somewhere else, and that's a beautiful thing. I heard your song, that song you made about it, and you were kind of, I don't want to say challenging people, but you were kind of like, hey, so make sure you're standing on what you're standing on, and make sure you're doing it with a pure heart, and make sure you're doing it for the right reasons. Because what I learned about the pagan community, is that they seem, from my point of view, because I'm new to the community, not really new to magic, but I'm new to the community, and what I noticed is they seem a little bit fearful of expressing that they're witches. And I'm like, just say it, like, just like, because I'm more attracted to transparency. And we live in a world where everyone is kind of just hiding behind different religions, but really they practice this, and then they doing this, but on Friday they do this, and then on Sunday they do this. And to me, that's just it's not authentic. And so, like, for my tribe, we refer to ourselves as the chosen. And so the chosen ones have always been the ones that's like been ostracized from the community. And, basically what that means is we're going to utilize your energy. We're going to take your energy. And then, you could walk around and be that scapegoat. And I refuse to be that scapegoat. I felt, I'm just not that type of person. It's just not going to happen. And so you fall into that category as well, because you're taking the craft and you're doing something that's unique. And so, the same token that you extended to me, I'm extending to you, because contrary to popular belief, a lot of people may kind of, be seeing me for the first time. But the fact of the matter is I've always been here. And so, it's really like really diving into our spirituality and realizing that, some of us are earth angels. Some of us, we have different positions. Some may be more, I guess, glorious. We may be sitting on a higher pedestal, and some of us may not get any recognition at all. But at the end of the day, we have to realize that all are equal, man. And the number one rule in this thing called life is love, bro. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't realize that. I find myself having a hard time with certain, I guess, viewpoints, because I just don't believe that you just can't affect free will, bro. Like that, to me, like that's just the number one rule in the game, because that right there, it dampers everything. And I think that's the reason why the world is in turmoil right now, because, people started messing with certain principalities and they didn't really know exactly what they were getting themselves into. And now, people like us, we're just sorting it out. We're just doing our job and getting everything situated so we can get back to, living life on life's terms and really tapping in with everybody. And the fact that you're welcoming anyone, of a magical path, that speaks volumes just to, your channel and what you're doing, man. And I really do appreciate it. But to those that's incarcerated, man, we gotta find a way to maybe make a page, maybe, set up something to where alongside with the treatment facilities that they got, that we can maybe get into the prison systems and have something set up to where we could be somewhat of a support system. They can have a place where they can go, some that where people resonate with them, because we come from the belly of the beast, like you said, and a lot of people, they don't understand that, because we look different, we look scary, we look like we've been through some things, we've sat in the fire, and that's what makes us different, man.
Mm-hmm. Well, I appreciate you coming on the Lone Wolf Show. You're watching www.witchcrafttv.online. I'm the Lone Wolf. This is D'Angelo Bailey, and y'all be keeping a look at him, because his magic hip hop is going to be out of this world. You heard me?
Do y'all know about witchcrafttv.online? Been watching that the last couple of days. Constantly going. I'm learning interesting stuff. And it turns out, apparently, I have a show there at midnight every night at witchcrafttv.online. Witchcrafttv.online. Check that out. I'm going to tune in at midnight and see what it is I'm doing.